wake up the world. We're just boys and girls. We can still wake up the world. We're just boys and girls. We can still wake up the world.
Welcome back to the show, friends. We have a big story for you today. We get to learn a new word in our story, and that word is Redeemer. Redeemer is a fancy word for save or rescue. Let's say that word together, then get to our story. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Redeemer. Remember, Redeemer means rescuer. Bye-bye.
Naomi's family members were Israelites, but there was not enough food for everyone in the Promised Land. Naomi, her husband, her 2 sons, and their wives decided to leave and go to Moab, where they could find some food. When they got there, Naomi's husband and her sons died. So she had a choice to make. She could stay in Moab or go home to the Promised Land. They decided to go home to the Promised Land. God's people had food there now. Naomi's daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah, had a choice too. They could stay with Naomi or go home with their parents. Orpah decided to go home to her parents, and Ruth decided to stay with Naomi. Ruth said, "Where you go, I will go, and wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." So Naomi and Ruth went back to Judah, the Promised Land. Ruth and Naomi needed food, so Ruth went to a field to gather the leftover grain. The field was owned by a man named Boaz. Boaz saw Ruth working, and he had a choice to make. He could kick Ruth out of the field, or he could allow her to stay and collect grain. He had heard how kind Ruth was to Naomi, and he told her that she could continue to pick up the leftover grain. Ruth took grain home to Naomi and told her about Boaz. Naomi told her that Boaz was a close family relative and he was their family redeemer. A family redeemer was someone who helped relatives when they needed help. Naomi knew that Boaz would make a good husband for Ruth, so she made a plan for Ruth. She gave Ruth special instructions. Ruth had a choice to make. She could follow Naomi's instructions and trust her plan, or she could say no and just keep going on as usual. Ruth followed Naomi's special instructions to show Boaz that she hoped he would marry her. She went to him in her best clothes and laid down at his feet. Boaz had a choice to make. He could tell her to go home and just be thankful that he let her pick up grain in his fields, or he could marry her and be the family redeemer. So Boaz stood before the people and made an agreement to marry Ruth and care for Naomi and her family. Later, Ruth and Boaz had a son named Obed, and when Obed grew up, he was the father of Jesse, and Jesse was the father of King David.
Let's get together and chit chat, chit chat.
Yeah. Miss Chelsea, friends, I'm so glad you're here to chit chat with me today.
Me too. And I really love today's story about Naomi and Ruth.
God has given us everything we need. Let's remember to thank him all the time. I feel like we should take a minute and think of some things right now that we're thankful for. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm thankful for my family.
I'm thankful for sunshiny days when we can play outside.
Yes. Oh, I'm thankful for iced coffee.
Yum. I'm thankful for that too. And ice cream cones, especially the ones that have sprinkles all over them.
Yeah. And I'm thankful for our church.
Yes, me too. And for really, really good music that gets stuck in your head, so you're singing it for days and days and days and days.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I'm also thankful for you, Miss Bree.
Aw, I'm thankful for you too, and for all of our friends.
Yeah.
So fun.
God gave Ruth and Naomi everything they needed. Then Naomi praised God. We can praise God for sending Jesus to redeem us.
We can be so thankful for the truth of our remember verse. Let's say it together. The payment for sin is death, but God gives us the free gift of life forever in Jesus. And that is definitely something to be thankful for. Bye, friends.
Boaz was a family redeemer. He rescued his relatives. He bought back what Ruth and Naomi had lost. Jesus is our Redeemer. He rescued us from our sin by dying on the cross because he loves us so much. Bye-bye, friends.